You ready to roll, Josh? You ready to do this? We're ready. We're all set. Diamond. Let's hit the diamond. We're about to be joined by Oklahoma Sooner baseball standout Scott Mudler here on the Rep. Scott, how's it going, man? How's the I say off season? You guys are already back in it. How's fall ball treating you?
Oh, fall ball's going great so far. I think we've made a lot of good progress since the first, practice of the fall. So yeah, everything's going so far so good on our end.
Was the trip to the Cape Cod League, was that this year?
I went to the Cape Cod League this past summer. So yeah, that was this year. Yes.
What was that experience like? I remember talking to Kyler Murray about it, and he's like, it's a little bit of a different world, right? But it's a great preparation area. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so I had a great experience in the Cape Cod. I actually, after our season ended last year, I really wasn't planning on going to play summer ball. I was kind of, I had no plans on getting on a team. All those teams are kind of set out and everything. So I was just, went back to the house. Was kind of just doing my own thing. And then, a month later, I think it was right before the 4th of July. I was getting the itch and getting, wanting to get back on the field. So actually, it's kind of funny how it turned out. I was wanting to play in the Cape Cod, but I just couldn't
Right.
get on a team because all these teams were full. And then our shortstop last year, Jackson Willits, he called me and he was, they were literally getting ready to play a game. And he's like, hey, are you trying to come play in the Cape? And I was like, yes, absolutely. And he put the assistant coach of the Falmouth Commodores. That was the team I played on. So he put the coach on. I was like, all right, come up here, get up here as soon as possible. So I literally got on a plane and got up there the next day. But, yeah, my experience, I was up there for a month. It was I had an unbelievable experience. Some, guys that you meet up there and some just unbelievable players.
Sooner baseball catcher Scott Mudler in the house with us. Scott, man, you were such a big addition to this OU baseball team out of the portal. Take us back through the process to pick Oklahoma. What was it about OU that sold you that this was the right place? And, oh, by the way, you came in with the Witherspoon twins, and, man, what a great trio of additions for Oklahoma. But what was it about OU that sold you, hey, this is the right spot for me?
Yeah, I went to junior college. I went to Northwest Florida State junior college in Florida, obviously, and I was there with the Witherspoons. And going into my sophomore year, that was my last year in junior college. So I ended up having a pretty good year in the spring. Swinging the bat well, so I started to get a lot of recruitment opening up, and it was kind of just I would probably really just dumb it down to the coaches is the biggest thing that sold me to come to Oklahoma. I mean, when I met Skip and Reggie and those guys, I mean, they were really the ones that, told me that, I have a chance to, come in here and make a difference in the program and everything. And obviously, shortly after I signed to come here from junior college, both the Witherspoon brothers, Witherspoon twins, made that decision too. So that was really cool. Playing with them for the first time my sophomore year, and then, having them come to Oklahoma that next year, I think was really cool and a huge addition to this program.
Okay, well, as you mentioned, you can kind of whittle it down to the coaches. But for you, Scott, I always love asking this question. When did you realize, dude, I got a chance to play beyond just JUCO? When did you realize I got a chance to play beyond, and maybe we can pull that back more, beyond high school and travel ball? When did it become a reality to you that your game was at a place where you could play big-time college baseball and maybe even beyond?
Well, yeah, that's a great question because for me it was very late. Most kids I feel like that are pretty talented in high school, they have a pretty good idea of where they want to end up playing. At a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, and I had no idea where I was going to end up. At 17, 18 years old. So, when I got into my senior year of high school, I always thought I was good enough. Just was kind of overlooked and underrated, I guess, my time coming up in high school. So, I thought about it for a long time. I had a couple small D1s that wanted me to go walk on, and I thought about it for a while and just said, hey, I'm going to go to junior college. I think this would be the best thing for me. So, out of high school, really overlooked, that whole period in high school. And then, once I stepped into the junior college world, it was definitely, just dreams and aspirations to get to the next level from there. So after 2 years of junior college, that second year is definitely, wanting to play at the highest level. And Oklahoma was the best fit for me. And, now we're transitioning into the SEC, so it really doesn't get much better than this. So.
You had a number of awesome moments this past season with OU. You were named to the All-Regional, the NCAA Norman Regional All-Tournament team. The Kansas State series, though, you hit the walk-off. Really just the whole weekend was great. What do you remember about the K-State series and the walk-off and just the weekend it was?
Yeah, that was definitely a really fun series, the K-State series. I think going into that, the coaches and all the players on the team the year before had a big part in that series because, I wasn't there that year, but, apparently, all the players and coaches explained that it got, very personal that year before that, K-State swept Oklahoma at their place, and, there was a big video came out or whatever of them, just disrespecting OU. So that definitely, I think, fired everybody on the team up, fired the coaches up for sure. So to get that sweep, I think was big just for, the guys that were on the team last year especially, and, to have a little bit something to do with that, third game and walking it off was definitely, definitely pretty cool for me. But, just a great team sweep for sure.
Scott, I think you just hit on something that we need to make sure that fans realize. Skip Johnson is one of the calmest, coolest, most laid-back guys in the world. But when it's time, there's that fire that comes out, isn't there? And I think Reggie Willits is kind of the same way. It seems as if they know the right moment to turn the juice up. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a fair assessment. I think all the coaches on our coaching staff have a little bit different way in, coaching and their kind of theories behind the coaching. But I think that's definitely a fair statement. Our coaches are so, when it's not time to, talk baseball or play baseball, you can go in there and you can talk to, any of the coaches about anything, and they're going to be, they love having a good time. They love cracking jokes and everything like that. But when it's time to coach and play baseball, they know exactly when to, get that fire into us and, spark something or, really just turn it up a notch as far as the coaching side of it and really just motivate the players. That's the biggest thing I think they do, and they do an excellent job at is, Skip, Reggie, all those guys. They know how to motivate us and, get us in a good position to just be a better baseball player.
You mentioned it earlier, the first season in the SEC. Looking at this schedule, the home schedule for fans, I mean, my goodness, what a year to get season tickets and go on out and pack L. Dale Mitchell Park. How excited, how fired up are you for this jump into the SEC?
Yeah, we couldn't be more excited. I think as a group, this is what you play for. You want to be, you play baseball and you want to play against the best talent in the world. So I think the Southeastern Conference, I think there's no doubt it's the best conference in the country for baseball and football. So I mean, this is why we play, and we couldn't be more excited for it. We're excited for the home games, the home series, getting all the fans to pack out L. Dale Mitchell, and I think we feel really good about going into it this spring. So we're excited.
Okay, a couple more, Scott. We'll let you get out of here. What's your off days like? Are you a college football fan? You guys follow other sports? Are you dialed into school? What's kind of the days off for you guys, like downtime?
Yeah, so we usually typically, I think in this period we're getting 1 day off a week. So it's we're kind of going full throttle on the baseball right now for sure. But the off day, like to, that's a great day to get your schoolwork done. That's what my parents always tell me. He's like, all right, first things first. It's a great day when you're not doing anything. Make sure you get your schoolwork done, and then after that's taken care of. Of course, I've played golf several times this fall. On the off days, played a little bit of golf. The course Jimmy over here in the golf course. It's a great course.
How's your game?
A little, a lot of area of improvement for sure. Sometimes I like to play guerrilla golf around the greens.
Well, I've always heard, and you can correct me if this is wrong. Maybe this was my dad trying to make me feel good about things when I sucked as a kid. But he would always say that your golf swing can mess up your baseball swing. Do you agree with that?
I used to think about that when I was younger, and I would be scared to play golf. But now, when I got older, I don't think I don't think it messes with me at all. If I thought it did, I probably wouldn't play. So,
Gotcha.
When it's time to, when you're done on the golf course, get in the cage and feel fine. So,
good.
Yeah, I don't think it affects me, but yeah, it's a good time.
Do you guys watch the World? Are you watching the championship series? Are you following the NFL? I know that you're from Chattahoochee High School, so in the Georgia. Is that make you a Braves fan, a Falcons fan, or do you even really care about pro sports?
Yeah, so I do follow pro sports. I was I was born and raised in Atlanta, so I was grew up a Braves fan for sure. But when it comes to the NFL side of it, my dad's from Cleveland, Ohio, and was born and raised a big Browns fan. So I was kind of lured into that unfortunate fan of the Cleveland Browns. So it's a tough life that he lives, being a fan of the Browns. But no, it's all good. So I pull for the Browns. When it's NFL season right now, and always been a Atlanta Braves fan.
That just builds character, right? Being a Browns fan. Hey, before we get you out of here, you got some new faces joining this roster. Who's caught your eye so far?
Yeah,
among the new guys.
Yeah, a lot of them for sure. I mean, we have, we're gonna have 40 guys, I believe, in the fall, and I think we only have 11 or 12 returners. So I mean, that's a ton of new guys in the locker room. After losing so many guys last year. So, I mean, there's so many that I think that can come in here and make a good impact. One of the first that just stands out, I think, is Cam Johnson. I think he's a big-time left-handed pitcher that could really help us out. He's had experience in the SEC, so he's definitely one that comes to mind. But there's so many others that, can come right in and make a big impact in, our program moving forward. So we're looking forward to it.
And speaking of making a big impact, we're getting a chance to talk to you thanks to the great people at One Oklahoma. Can you take us through, Scott, just how much of a difference that's made for you and how important that is for yourself and your teammates to just allow things to go a little bit smoother for you in life?
Yeah, absolutely. One Oklahoma, they've done, I think, an excellent job so far this year and, helping the student athletes out. So, all the support and donations and the subscriptions of the fans is much appreciated. We all very much appreciate it, and they've done an excellent job in taking care of the student athletes. So if anyone out there, fans, want to subscribe and get into that, we really appreciate it. It helps the program out a ton. It helps the players out. So really appreciate the people at One Oklahoma for sure.
We appreciate you, Scott. Everyone can check it out at oneoklahoma.com. Enjoy the rest of fall ball. Can't wait to see you out there on the diamond coming up in February. And thanks so much for your time, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.